This is Dan. Welcome to another video. Today is another video reading Hermitcraft Mayhem. We are reading chapter 4. And yeah, this is a fanfiction, Minecraft inspired fanfiction where I create a world, a universe, and put Minecraft YouTubers into it. People that I know make videos on Minecraft, just that kind of thing. Just kind of like D&D, see what happens. In this case, I'm focused on Hermitcraft. Pretty obvious, it's in the title. But yeah, this is currently the newest installment of my story, and I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get right into it, shall we? Grian picked up the empty shulker box, storing it into his pocket. Impulse and Blake were by the secret staircase that led down to a secret tunnel. A tunnel that could take them to any of the hermit spaces. Hopefully they wouldn't need to use it to escape from an attack. Ready? Beat-Ups raised an eyebrow at Grian. He was leaning against the wall, casually waiting, just as they all were. Yeah, Grian replied. It's good to get a change of scenery. Definitely, Beat-Ups agreed, pushing himself away from the wall. Haley's okay with that? It's Liam you should be asking, really. Impulse Grian giggled. Sorry. He knows where to find me. He'll be down once he's done with the testing. Grian pointed toward the kitchen door. He heard the faintest sound of voices on the other side, but couldn't make out what was being said. Was Liam making another call? Hopefully we get some answers. Impulse looked up at them. His conversation with Blake finished. Cameras are clear. We're good to go. Grian swallowed. No surprises? Impulse patted his sword hilt, the blade resting in a scabbard at his side. Not one we can't handle. Okay. How long do you guys plan to be down there? Another voice asked. Grian turned around to see Scar pushing his wheelchair toward them. A few hours at least, at most, Impulse said. We don't want to be down there for too long. Just to be safe. Mainly focusing on cleaning an area for an alarm system. Scar nodded, looking at everyone in the group thoughtfully. Can I borrow you and Grian for a moment, Impulse? I need to talk to you. Impulse frowned. What about? Scar gestured to the main room, pushing himself backward. Grian stole a glance at Impulse, who shrugged before following their fellow hermit into the room. Beat-Ups and Blake weren't too far behind, no doubt curious as to what was happening. Grian and Impulse took a seat in two different armchairs, as Scar met them in the middle. His green eyes were staring at the floor. He looked apprehensive, if not nervous. What could he be nervous about, though? What's going on? Impulse asked, folding his hands on his lap and leaning forward slightly. Concern danced in his chocolate brown eyes. Brown gaze. Scar cleared his throat, taking a deep breath before letting out a heavy sigh. Has anything unusual happened to you when you were in the dream world? Like what? Grian frowned. Like no matter what you do, you can't get away fast enough. Nightmares? Impulse guessed. It's worse than that. Scar closed his eyes, shaking his head. Been having the same nightmares since the attack. Which one? Impulse pressed. Gerald. What? I thought he said he had better ways of torturing us than in the dream world, Grian interjected. I know, but I can't escape what I saw. There were too many of them. Liam has been trying to help me the last couple of nights, but Gerald's too strong. Too strong? Impulse asked. Scar nodded. He pulled me away from Liam the night before, when he was using the headband. Literally dragged me into my worst nightmare. Grian put a hand on his mouth, to his mouth. That's horrible. I need help, Scar said, opening his eyes again, as he looked between his friends. I can't fight them alone. There's too many of them. Of him. How many were there? Bill straightened. Scar shook his head. Too many. Of course we'll help you. Grian reached out, taking Scar's hand. You don't have to face this alone. I just don't know why he's doing this, Scar sighed, exasperated. What would he gain by breaking me? By making me go through the same thing over and over again? Why me? I don't know, but we'll get to the bottom of this, Impulse said defiantly, getting to his feet. Thank you, Scar whispered, looking up at the older hermit. Grian could see a bit of hesitation in his expression as he looked away. No problem, Impulse said with a nod. How does an exercise before bed sound? So it's worth a shot, Scar said softly. I just don't want... I don't want to drag you guys into this. We do this together, Grian stated, his eyes not wavering from one of his best friends. Scar nodded, wearing a weak smile. Good luck on your endeavor, then, Scar said simply. We will, B-Dub said from the doorway. And Scar, I'll keep a lookout for you in the dream world. Don't be afraid to call me. Scar nodded slowly. Okay. Those kind of nightmares aren't fun. B-Dubs continued. Don't give up. Never. Scar's smile widened, looking more like his usual smile. Never. Grian reached over, gave his friend a hug, promising to check on him after the dig was done. Before he knew it, they were halfway down the stairs, breaking into an adjacent wall. They would complete this in no time. The sun set below the tree line as Grian prepared for bed. His communicator was sitting on the nightstand, his sword and bow leaning against the wall by the nightstand. Having a means of defending himself within reach was important, enough that everyone who could set them up had. Hermit and protectors alike. Sam and Liam didn't want to take any chances, and after what Haley told him yesterday, Grian couldn't blame their cautious behavior. But was there such a thing as being too careful? This is going to be another long night, isn't it? Scar commented as he reached over his wheelchair, grabbing a ragged cloth from the nightstand. I don't think you're going to need that tonight, Impulse said simply, sitting in bed. Scar looked up at him. Just in case. I don't want to wake anyone up. Impulse shook his head. We're not going to let him hurt you. Scar dropped the rag back down and sighed. Why do nightmares have to wake us up screaming? Not always, Jim corrected, stifling a yawn. You sure you guys don't need any backup? I am the backup, B-Dub said confidently. Jim giggled. All right, if you're sure. You'll know if we need help, Impulse replied. Not necessarily. I tried calling you guys, but obviously you couldn't hear me. Really? Impulse furrowed his brow. Scar nodded. It was like I had a mental headband strapped around my head. The clouds blocked the stars. Interesting, Impulse said thoughtfully. Gerald must not want to take any chances. But how is he doing it without a headband? Grian asked, pulling back his covers and crawling into bed. I don't know, Impulse sighed. We don't know how many people he has under his control. Maybe he's using their combined mental power to go after you. Why me? Impulse shrugged. Grian released a heavy sigh. There was still so much they didn't know. I just want him to leave me alone, Scar muttered. He will. Scar shook his head. Something tells me he'll find a way. So will we, Impulse said, snapping his fingers. He knows that. We don't give up. We will fight until he's gone, for good this time. Scar nodded, a small wisp of a smile appearing on his face. I'm ready when you are. Lay back and relax. G and I will be there the entire time. I'll guide you. Scar did as he was told, letting out a heavy sigh, as if he finally put down the heavy weight he'd been carrying. Grian snuggled up under his covers as well, connecting his mind to Scar's, hearing both Scar and Impulse's voices. Just focus on where you want to go, Impulse advised. What if he tries to drag me away? Scar asked. We've got you. G and I will think of the same place, and drag you there if we have to. Scar chuckled. We'll get separated. We'll find you, Grian said reassuringly. Whatever it takes. Okay. Scar sighed again. Grian closed his eyes, holding on to the place they had agreed upon earlier. The picnic blanket in the Valley of Lilies. It was peaceful. Held good memories, and, hopefully, far enough away from Gerald. Grian's breathing slowed as sleep came over him. He opened his eyes to find himself in the dream world, right where he wanted to be. It worked, Grian gasped, spotting Scar sitting cross-legged beside him. His features were dark with apprehension as the hermit looked around. Gerald could be here. How would he know where we are? Grian asked. He's a ghost. Spirits work differently here in this realm. Impulse frowned. Can you feel him, Scar? No, but I still don't feel safe here. You're not alone, Grian insisted, grabbing his friend's hand. We're here. Scar smiled sadly, taking a deep breath. It's nice to get away from him for a while. Yeah, I can imagine. Impulse nodded, scooting just a hair closer. Would you feel better if I put up a shield? You can teleport through them. Scar shuddered. Grian squeezed Scar's hand reassuringly. He was not going to let him go. He would not let Gerald drag him away without a fight. You can't stop me. The voice echoed through the forest and valley. Grian tensed, hearing an audible gulp come from Scar. Where are you? Impulse demanded, confirming that they all had heard it. Gerald was here. A chuckle filled the air. Grian shivered. Why did this pesky spirit always have to act like he was in control? Was he in control? No, of course not. They could stop him. They had to. You and I both know they can't protect you forever, Scar. Leave him alone, Gerald, Impulse demanded firmly. You have no right to be here. I have every right. You are all at your strongest and most vulnerable here. How would you know? Impulse narrowed his eyes, scanning the tree line. Grian knew what he was looking for. A trace of a long black cloak. Where was the man hiding? Should they get up and prepare for a fight? I've had my time to practice. Grian gasped, scrambling to his feet as he whirled around. There he was, Gerald, standing behind them, with his arms crossed, his cloak billowing soundless in the breeze. His hood was drawn back, his face visible in the starlit night. A roll of thunder to distance sent another shiver down his spine. Scar and Impulse were also now on their feet. A golden sword gleamed in Impulse's hand as a force field surrounded the trio of friends. Gerald laughed. You can't resist forever, Gerald shook his head. He took a step forward. More cloaked figures appeared, surrounding them on every side. How were there so many? There were at least 30 of them, if not closer to at least 50 of them, if not closer to 100. Sorry, I misread that. They couldn't possibly fight them all. Back to back, Impulse commanded. His brown eyes shone with determination. Grian turned so that the three of them had their backs pressed together. Gerald chuckled. Quite a valiant effort, but I'm afraid you're a bit over your head. You need a reality check, Impulse glowered. You are not in control here. Gerald smiled, waving the sea of black cloaks forward. Grian held up a golden bow, an arrow, aiming it at one of the cloaked men. Then the wave of darkness charged forward, pressing their hands and faces against the force field. Scar and Grian both yelped in surprise. There were so many faces, all identical to Gerald's. Why, hello there, Cookie. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that food is not for you. I'm not sure how long the force field will hold, Impulse warned. Is there nothing we can do? Grian asked. He could feel Scar's body trembling beside him. What are you trying to do, Fly? The hermit held on to an identical bow to another cloaked man. Don't let them get close to Scar, Impulse said simply. The golden dome began to flicker as the identical Geralds pushed their way through. This is so much worse than last time, Scar said nervously. We got you, Grian said matter-of-factly, releasing his arrow as it sent one of the men back. Encouraged, Scar shot his own, as the two of them tried their best to keep the cloaked Geralds at bay. Will we ever run out of arrows here? Scar looked over his shoulder to Grian, firing another shot. Infinity, Grian said briskly, yelping as a hand broke through the force field, reaching for him. Grian shot the invader back, sending him flying into the darkness. We have to get out of here, Impulse shouted over the groaning and snarling men around them. Where? There's nowhere to go, Grian yelled back. I don't know. Somewhere. Think of something. Grian swallowed, firing another shot as another Gerald broke through the force field, which flickered once, twice, before fading entirely. Oh no, Scar gulped, pressing himself harder against Grian's back. Hang on! Impulse's cry was drowned out by maniacal laughter as the wave of cloaks launched toward them. Grian screamed, grabbing onto Scar, refusing to let go. Why, hello there. He heard his friend's screams in the mix as the cloaks covered them in darkness. And that is where we're going to leave it today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, next week we go on to Chapter 5. Technically, I'm recording this out of order. I read Chapter 5, and now I'm reading Chapter 4, but that's okay. But you're going to hear this in order, so what? I hope you guys liked it. Stay tuned for next week. It's going to be dark again, because we're still in a dream. And yeah, nightmares can be scary, especially when there are ghosts involved. Stampy would know. I'll see you guys in the next one, whenever that might be. Goodbye.